who died serving the cause of peace. I believe in having a young mindset. This means standing up to injustice. I hope I will never be too old to ask leaders tough questions. I hope I will always have the energy to speak out for what is right. I think that keeps us young.
International University of Management, a Namibian university dedicated to its people's future, a hub of abundant opportunities.
We are IUM for life. We are IUM.
Welcome to this evening's edition of Today on 1. In the news tonight, businesses affected after CBD complex goes without water and electricity. Implementation of policies on GBV crucial for the SADC region. January lacks the mandate to demand taxi fare increase, says NAPTA. City of Windhoek Huawei 5G corruption case at an advanced stage, says ACC. Local horticulture industry has potential for growth. And Roundup, Business on 1, Comments Corner, Sports and the weather. First up, small business owners operating at the Kingsway Plaza in town, which is owned by businesswoman Stina Wu, have been without water and electricity for 5 days due to unpaid municipal bills. The aggrieved business owners claim that the lack of service to the complex has hampered their ability to earn money during the most important period of the month.
Community Voices proudly brought to you by Namdeb Diamond Corporation. Good today, better tomorrow.
The complex, situated in the central business district in Windhoek, houses various businesses such as salons, takeaways and car washes, amongst others. Tenants were up in arms after their water was not reconnected by Thursday. One of the hairdressers interviewed by Today on 1 said that she lost out of 1,800 Namibian dollars per day, which could have been 9,000 in 5 days.
I was trying to blow dry. We were using a generator, and the generator, the petrol got finished. And at the time, I was blow drying my customer, so I had to wait for the guy to go buy for us petrol to bring it for us. We are very disappointed as a businesswoman, and at this time of month end, there is no electricity and there is no water. It's affecting our customers. As our customers are coming, at times we are telling them that they should go because we don't have water and electricity. We are losing out. We have to pay our rent where we are working, which is 2,000, which is just a lot of money that we are losing.
Owner of Clean Kicks Namibia, Cleopas Malima, added his business has been negatively affected despite paying 25,000 Namibian dollars in rent to operate at the plaza. Malima added that they also pay their rent on time, but their landlords appear to fail to pay their municipal bills.
For some odd reason, they don't live up to their commitments of settling the water and electricity bills to the municipality. And this has drastically affected our businesses. As you can hear the noises in the background, all the businesses here are running on generators. We're having to move water in and out to keep the businesses afloat. It's the worst time that it can happen because it's approaching month end. This is the busiest times that we have as businesses to make income and it's really in a dear and bad state, and we don't get any proper feedback from the landlords. They keep telling us they're busy sorting it out, but we haven't gotten any feedback, and it's terrible. I mean, all the businesses here are SMEs. We employ a lot of people. We employ a huge number of people that are employed here, and our businesses are affected. We can't have income. We have to pay high rent amounts in the city center to have a service of this nature.
In addition, an employee at one of the complex shops, Anna Abbott, stated they have lost customers for the week because they are not able to prepare food for their takeaway.
Yesterday we didn't sell food, there's no food, there's no electricity, there's no power, like that we lost customers. And the other thing, we only sold fruits, cool drinks, but for now we are making loss because there's no customers. And we want to cook, there's no power. We want to sell customers, they're just coming asking, what do you have? Then there's nothing. So we lose customers, and even us, one of the good days, we might lose job. So these companies, these buildings, they need to do something for us. We used to make chips, food like macaroni, the meats. So, but for now, we doesn't have anything. Just because of we don't have powers, we don't have waters.
As we are talking now, there's no water and electricity. It's very affected our job. And now we cannot sit at home. We are here, we wait to pay a rent, and the owner of the salon is wait to pay a rent also. But always he makes sure that he paid, but it just came suddenly that the water and electricity is cut off. Yeah, until now we didn't get a feedback, no answer, no anyone who's coming here. Maybe a landlord was here, we didn't know, and we didn't get any information about when they will open it, or they will maybe to open the electricity to come back. We just came to work and to sit like this. We lost a lot of money. It's not only here, but all the complex of King Plus Way.
Malima stated they are planning to take legal actions for damages, urging other business owners to follow suit. Attempts to get comment from businesswoman Stina Wu and her business partner Chris Shivolo were futile.
Community Voices proudly brought to you by Namdeb Diamond Corporation. Good today, better tomorrow.
Free shopping is back at Spar, where we're putting smiles on the faces of thousands of Spar Rewards customers when they win their shopping for free. Just shop any participating product, swipe your Spar Rewards card, and go big with Nescafe Recoffee for just $79.99 and Coup Baked Beans and Tomato Sauce for only $12.49. Win your shopping instantly, only at Spar.
Gender-based violence remains a concern for the Southern African development community and has been one of the most notable human rights violations. These sentiments were expressed at the Gender-Based Violence Workshop, which was recently held in Swakopmund under the theme Strengthening the Legislative and Policy Response on GBV.
SADC representative Kyaleboha Moruti stated that tools such as the SADC Blueprint document, the 2008 SADC Protocol on Gender and Development, and the Regional Strategy and Framework for Addressing Gender-Based Violence are guiding the gender-based violence response in the SADC region.
These tools outline the priority interventions for the region and unpacks the priority interventions to be undertaken by government ministries, priority interventions to be taken by parliamentarians, civil society organizations, international cooperating partners, the media, amongst other stakeholders. When we open these tools that I believe just are on your tables, they will be clearly articulating what each stakeholder is supposed to be doing in this response. I also want to highlight, Deputy Speaker, that in 2018, SADC conducted a comprehensive gender-based study which was aimed at compiling information on the prevalence of GBV and its various forms in the SADC region, and also look at the status of policies and laws that are on the ground to respond to GBV. This comprehensive study also documents the GBV prevention and response measures and identifies the gaps and challenges among SADC member states. This study also articulated and outlined that the most predominant form of violence in SADC is emotional abuse. The study also indicates that on average, over a quarter of respondents in SADC member states had experienced emotional violence, while slightly 1 in every 10 had experienced physical violence. Gender-based violence continues to be one of the most notable human rights violations within our societies. There is growing evidence that GBV is on the increase in the SADC region, and this increase is triggered by various factors that require concerted efforts from all stakeholders to ensure a coordinated approach to effectively prevent and respond to it.
National Assembly Deputy Speaker Loide Kasingo said Namibia continues to grapple with the high cases of gender-based violence, noting that women are the core to change the brutal killings as they have the influence on their children and grandchildren.
Over the years, our country, Namibia, not only our country, our region, as well as international, has witnessed the acts of brutal killing, sexual assault, rapes, and physical beating, mostly committed with impunity and without an end in sight. This workshop comes at the opportune time when our country is grappling with alarming rate of gender-based violence cases. And the question we have to ask ourselves is that, who are the perpetrators? Most of the time, we said men are perpetrators. But there is a saying goes that when you educate a woman, you educate the nation. And when we look at ourselves as women, we are the core to change this brutal killing, because we have got the influence on our children, on our grandchildren. Unless we change that to ensure that each and everybody look in your household to educate our children while they are young, to respect the other human being, then we can make law and policy. We are not going to change anything.
The workshop is aimed at raising awareness, strengthening the capacity of the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Gender Equality, and facilitating effective advocacy and accountability in prevention and response to gender-based violence.
Win free airtime with Learn on One. Tell us what's your favorite subject on Learn on One and win $50 airtime. SMS your answer, name, age, and the town you live in to 555. Standard T's and C's and SMS rates apply. Learn on One. Invite learning in.
Choose boldness and celebrate the skin you're in with Nivea Rich Nourishing. Our triple layered care of deep moisture serum, natural almond oil, and vitamin E enriches your skin for 48 hours. It's time to show off your best skin. Choose to wear your skin with pride with Nivea Rich Nourishing.
Namibia Bus and Taxi Association General Secretary Pendapala Nakafingo said the Namibia Transport and Taxi Union lacks the mandate and overstepped their powers in demanding for taxi fare increment from the line ministry. Nakathingo made these remarks after the NTTU President Werner January said they were planning an indefinite demonstration in Windhoek to request that government increase taxi fare from 13 to 18 Namibia dollars.
NAPTA General Secretary Pendapala Nakathingo said that the Namibia Transport and Taxi Union knows there are limitations in the transport industry and that it is not in their mandate to demand an increase in taxi fare. Nakathingo said they were not approached regarding the planned demonstration, therefore they are distancing themselves.
NTTU themselves knows that what are their position with the government and what are their involvement within the public transport industry. They know their level. So therefore, in this regard, they've been even informed that they don't have the mandate to demand for an increment of this magnitude or of this nature. So they know, but they are trying to encroach into some boundaries which are far from them. That is one of the things even the government couldn't entertain their approach. So that is one of the things that, one have to realize, and we need to act accordingly. So apart from that, as I said, NAPTA is an organization that is one of the first associations or organizations representing the public transport in the country. And it operates within the parameter of its constitution. So we accommodate everybody. We are not saying if NTTU came up with an idea to initiate a demonstration and they follow a proper procedures, we cannot turn against them. They are our colleague. They are our juniors. So, but we should act responsible. NAPTA is an organization that operates under its constitution principles. Yeah, therefore, in that regard, should we have been approached, we could have worked out modalities and mechanism how to engage with the colleagues. So, because when you talk about the demonstration, you are not talking about an individual issues. You talk about something that is affecting the lives of many people. And the demonstration, you don't just expect anything good always. Demonstration is something that being attended by people with various understandings, and some other people, the people have got an agendas, and when people are going for demonstration, already that is the people that frustrated, and the people that have got really some pains that drives them into demonstration. Therefore, it needs and requires a proper coordination. It requires a very concrete observation. So, therefore, as NAPTA, we cannot just jump into something that is not coordinated according to our understanding.
Nakathingo further indicated that they engaged the government to find a solution for the taxi operators and the drivers, and their initiative was positively welcomed and will soon come to operation.
We are not having a problem. The government can, if the government, which I doubt, the government can grant such increment, whatever increment, they can increase up to $20. But a person with logic, and even through this initiative, so how now on earth there is a person come up with a relief that is going to relieve both parties, the government, the taxi driver and bus drivers, and the passenger. So then you are going now to accept somebody who is going to request for something that is going to cause or to bring a burden to certain citizens, such as the passengers. Because once we can go to the government, that's why we are so reluctant to request the government an increment currently. But we are not limited. In terms of NAPTA, we have engaged our government, not only the Ministry of Works and Transport. We were also approached by the fuel retailer, the service station owners. In terms of the situation, we have cooperated with them. We have engaged with them. We joined them in terms of the situation to see how best the government can assist. So we have done that through the Ministry of Mines and Energy. So we find an alternative relief whereby the taxes is going to increase to $15, but it's going to happen through NAPTA system, meaning buses and taxis, they have to register themselves through NAPTA system.
January, who claims that his union has over 5,000 members, stated that NTTU is the only recognized union and has the right to represent the interests of its members.
Great combo deal from Choppies! Choppies, great value for your money.
The Anti-Corruption Commission stated that the corruption allegations against the City of Windhoek's former head of ICT, the late Wycliffe Kanjiro-Moini, is at an advanced stage. The late Kanjiro-Moini is accused of attempting to bribe Rally for Democracy and Progress Secretary General Brunhilde Cornelius with $5 million Namibia in order for her to drop her objections against the City of Windhoek's council to grant Huawei exclusive rights to develop the city's 5G infrastructure.
A City of Windhoek employee was accused in 2020 of attempting to bribe a councillor in order to guarantee the Chinese tech giant Huawei will be awarded the exclusive contract to develop the City of Windhoek's 5G telecommunication network in Windhoek. The late Wycliffe Kanjiro-Moini bribed RDP Secretary General Brunhilde Cornelius with more than $5 million Namibian, according to the investigations, to drop her objections to the City of Windhoek's council's decision to grant Huawei the exclusive right to develop the city's 5G infrastructure. Today on One recently met with the ACC to follow up on the investigations.
We do have a case at the Anti-Corruption Commission relating to the matter. And this case has been registered with the Commission in July 2020. Our curiosity and, or maybe let me say that this case came to our knowledge at the time where it was reported in the media, and also through the relationship that we have with NAMPOL, as this particular case was first opened at with NAMPOL, upon which it was transferred to the Anti-Corruption Commission, given the corruption element on it. As for the Anti-Corruption Commission, we are mandated to investigate corruption matters, and as such, NAMPOL saw it fit that it be transferred to the Anti-Corruption Commission, and in that regard, investigation in the matter is currently ongoing, and I would confidently say that investigation in this particular case is at an advanced stage. Maybe just to give an insight, as per the allegation received by the Commission and as per the information picked up in the media, though that information cannot be used in court, we as the Commission, we use it as a stepping stone for our investigation. In most cases, it's helpful in assisting our investigations.
Gitu Amata states that the accused's sudden departure has no bearing on the ACC's investigations, and the case will be handed over to the Prosecutor General once the investigations are completed.
The sudden departure of the late basically had no impact on the investigation conducted by the Commission, and like I mentioned earlier, that this investigation continues and is actually at an advanced stage, because the investigation, it's only later on, maybe later at the end of the investigation, that maybe individuals will be identified for those who might be alleged to have a hand in the whole process. But at the moment, investigation is actually based on the Memorandum of Understanding, given the bribery element which has been involved in this bribery case, or the Memorandum of Understanding is actually between the two institutions.
Following the charges of corruption, the city of Windhoek was questioned by a number of telecommunication service providers, including MTC, Paratus and Dimension Data, after the Communications Regulatory Authority of Namibia granted it a class comprehensive telecommunications service license, according to the city of Windhoek, in order to fully realize the objectives of its Smart City project, which aims to bridge the digital divide by offering its residents accessible and reasonably priced telecommunication services. The city requires a class comprehensive telecommunications service license. Efforts by Today on One to reach the city of Windhoek for a comment were unsuccessful.
Get seamless underwear at super low prices, only at Pep. Seamless non-padded bras, an incredible $59.99 in a soft, stretchy fabric. Matching seamless boy legs, an amazing $34.99. Get them all in a range of new colors. Life's better with Pep.
The restriction of imports on certain vegetables and fruits is an opportunity that local farmers can explore to supply the market. The Namibia Agronomic Board explained during the Know to Grow K2G information session hosted in Windhoek yesterday that commodity prices have tripled over the past few months, creating a high demand for crop raising.
Namibia currently imports 96% of its fruits and vegetables from countries that are as far as Europe. Namibia Agronomic Board Standard Compliance Officer, Andreas Ashipala, said that Namibia's high number of food imports is direct proof that farming opportunities are half-utilized and farmers should focus on what the market demands in order to know where value addition is needed.
We are net importers. There is nothing that we produce in terms of, say, clementine or grapefruit, all of those, and so, or limes, or all of those. So, and then you look at the numbers, the value of what we are importing. So there's a market to be tapped into. And we as NAB, what we have done, it's not part of this presentation, but it's we close the borders for importation of produces when you have sufficient supply in the country. So when, say for example, we have farmers that have ample supply of potatoes, then we are not going to import any of those produces because we have sufficient until all the retailers or the producers, they've managed to sell all their produces. Then that's how we protect and also actually encourage production for our local farmers.
Ashipala said there are multiple horticulture avenues that farmers can tap into, such as wine grape production, olive oil and sunflower oil production, fruits, potatoes and beans.
As a trader, when you are in the country, you're supposed to display a display that says that, okay, this is the produce of Namibia, to promote and encourage produces of Namibia to be on our shelves. So it's something that we monitor and we also inspect as we get into supermarkets and retailers that trade in fresh produce. So there's so much to be done and so much that we can still do so that you can tap into this market and actually generate income. And then another thing that it's animal fodder, which is feed for the animals that you're rearing, and then so that is also another opportunity that can be tapped into.
Ashipala said farmers should pre-plan their crop enterprises and register with the Agronomic Board to be updated with the market demand in order to enhance the food production sector.
This is my favorite gear. Nivea Men Black and White Deo. With 5 times Deo action to protect you and your favorite gear from stains. Try SA's #1 anti-stain deodorant.
There are different types of decisions, such as rational, habitual, impulsive, and coin tossing.
Let's get started.
The consumption of poultry containing food poisoning organisms such as salmonella, but the danger to health can be dramatically reduced.
What about other organisms in the animal kingdom? Well, some animals are ectothermic.
Welcome to Lesson 5 for Grade 10 and 11 Mathematics.
Methodologies and approaches in order to produce relevant and suitable results.
In other leading stories, the Ministry of Mines and Energy announced today that petrol and diesel prices will remain unchanged for the month of August. The price of petrol will remain at 22 Namibia dollars 28 cents per litre, and the diesel price will remain at 22 Namibia dollars 77 cents per litre in Walfish Bay. Fuel prices across the rest of the country will remain unchanged. Furthermore, the ministry has resolved to extend the temporary reduction of the levies imposed on fuel, except the fuel tax that will be reinstated back to 90 cents per litre on all products. This entails that the MVA levy, road user charge levy and the NAMCO levy will remain at their current levels until further notice. The ministry has also resolved to address the burning issue concerning fuel retailers by increasing the dealer margin by 50 cents per litre from 113 cents per litre to 163 cents per litre. These changes will be effective as from the 3rd of August 2022. After a review of developments in the global oil market for June, the ministry says international crude oil prices have fallen by 20% amid rising fears that the aggressive interest rate hikes implemented by many central banks could lead to a recession in developed countries. The Namibian dollar also depreciated in July against the US dollar. Due to these factors, the line ministry recorded over recoveries on both petrol and diesel products. Another reason for the over recoveries is the decrease in the oil prices per barrel.
Free shopping is back at Spar, where we're putting smiles on the faces of thousands of Spar Rewards customers when they win their shopping for free. Just shop any participating product, swipe your Spar Rewards card, and go big with 1 kg Spar cornflakes for just $41.99 and 3 kg Sunlight hand washing powder for only $79.99. Win your shopping instantly, only at Spar.
Time now for Business on One with Joseph Shifeni.
Welcome to this evening's edition of Business on One. Picture an Isuzu workhorse, then add style, luxury and state-of-the-art technology. What do you get? The much anticipated all-new D-Max. They say it's an exceptionally revised version of the 3-liter 4-cylinder turbo diesel with increased power and torque.
Apart from its samurai/dragon-like appearance and 4x4 capabilities, this bakkie is suitable for the African climate and terrain. Ours Motors Chief Operating Officer Gerard Vermeulen confirmed this during the launch at Moon Valley in the Swakop River.
Isuzu over the years was known for being more a commercial brand. There wasn't a major significant focus on the consumer part of the business. In other words, selling to people who want vehicles. They want a bakkie, but they want all the bells and whistles and the luxury added to that. That has changed. Isuzu has taken a major stance towards that part of the business without sacrificing on dependability and reliability. Because the easiest thing to do in the world is to add all the bells and whistles, working for a month or two, and after that you start having trouble. Everything that is in here, from a glove box lid, which I was chatting tonight about, to the most advanced radio systems in the vehicle, additional safety systems, airbags, all of that has been extensively tested to breaking point to make sure that the product can stand up to the people and the conditions in Southern Africa.
The 7th generation D-Max, according to Kevin Fausch, the product planning and management executive at Isuzu South Africa, the latest range was tested for millions of kilometers to ensure improved quality and durability.
If we go to the manufacturing and engineering side, we've been building bakkies in the southern hemisphere of South Africa since the 1978, so it's 42 years now. And this new generation, 7th generation D-Max, we've done the equivalent of 4 million kilometers of testing, of which 700,000 of those kilometers were done in Southern Africa. So this vehicle is really and truly built for Southern African conditions. This new Isuzu has up to 8 airbags in it. From the bottom end of our vehicles, we have a full range of safety equipment, starting from ABS, you have electronic stability control, we have brake force distribution, we have hill traction control, hill hold control, hill descent control, trailer sway, and then of course we have the Isuzu ADAS system.
The new D-Max range is agreeably a step into the future for Isuzu. It's available in single cab, SUV and double cab.
The clock has struck for your daily business and financial news update. Brought to you by The Brief.
Namibia has opened talks with the Indian government to source cheap fuel from the leading Asian petrol and diesel exporter. The Brief is reliably informed that Namibia is banking on its good bilateral relations with India to secure an alternative source for its fuel requirements. This comes as the government has over the past few months been frantically looking for an alternative solution to high fuel prices, after the Ministry of Mines and Energy in May implemented fuel levy relief measures for 3 months to cushion local consumers. Energy Fund Director in the Energy Ministry, Saima Neke, confirmed that the government department was exploring various alternatives to stabilize the country's spiraling fuel prices. Officials from the Indian High Commission in Windhoek also confirmed the talks but declined to give specifics regarding the Namibian government request. Namibia, for the period 2021 to 2022, imported petroleum products worth $3.5 billion from India. Debmarine Namibia is planning to increase its contribution to the fiscus by nearly 200% to $4.7 billion this year, up from $1.6 billion in 2021. The Marine Diamond Mining Company is hoping that the coming on board of its $7 billion diamond mining vessel, the Benguela Jim vessel, which it inaugurated in March this year, will help to increase its contribution to the treasury through royalties, income tax and dividends. The vessel is expected to boost the company's annual diamond production by an additional 500,000 carats of diamonds. Debmarine Namibia Chief Executive Officer Otto Shikongo told a sponsorship handover of medical equipment to the Ministry of Health and Social Services that in 2021, Debmarine Namibia contributed $1.6 billion to the Namibian fiscus in royalties, income tax and dividends. The increase is mainly due to the introduction of their new state-of-the-art diamond recovery vessel, the MV Benguela Jim. Shikongo said positive information regarding the impact of diamond mining in the country was key in retaining interest from global buyers.
This was your daily Namibian business and financial news update. For in-depth stories, read more on thebrief.com.na now.
And that is all we have for you. Be sure to follow us on our social media pages for more on the business front.
We've always had the bravery to stand up for what is Namibian. From protecting our homes from invaders to fighting the injustices of our people. We still honor what our country means to us and raise a glass to those who show their bravery. No matter how bright their spotlight, how commanding their performance, or how they shoot for the stars. With all this potential brewing in the land of the brave, what will you do to make this Namibia your Namibia?
Windhoek's informal settlements are expanding at an unsustainable rate, says the National Coordinator of the Shack Dwellers Federation of Namibia, Edith Mbanga. Mbanga states that the issue requires immediate action from government, community members and the city of Windhoek. Madison said if more opportunities are available in the northern towns, then people will not flock to Windhoek. Aldrin said people are moving to the capital city where there are no greener pastures. Zakaria pledges his support to the Shack Dwellers Federation. Helenka said uplifting life in rural areas is key in addressing the problem. Connie said the migration to Windhoek is a huge challenge. And that's it from Comments Corner. Please continue engaging on our stories on our social media pages for broadcast on Today on One.
Great combo deal from Choppies! Choppies, great value for your money.
Now let's cross over to the sports desk with Castro Ulumbu.
Good evening and welcome to Sports on One. I'm your host Castro Ulumbu. Sosa Mixed Martial Arts Studio recently announced that they will be hosting the first ever Mixed Martial Arts Championships in the capital on the 1st of October this year. Participants from 5 neighboring countries are expected to take part at the event with a lineup of 20 fights in total. The founder and owner of the Sosa Mixed Martial Arts Studio will host the first ever Mixed Martial Arts Amateur Championships in Windhoek. Countries like Zambia, South Africa, Angola and Zimbabwe will compete at the event that is scheduled to happen in October.
1st of October is going to be one of the MMA events. The only MMA event that's ever happened in Namibia. It's going to be hosted in an octagon, as you can see. This will be the octagon that will be hosted there. It's going to happen at VHS High School. That's where it's in their hall. We have sponsorships on board. We're getting other 4 countries coming in: Angola, Zambia, Zimbabwe, South Africa, and then obviously Namibia as the 5th one. All the kind of stuff. We're looking at 20 fights that are going to be competing in there. Angola is prepared to send 12 people down. Zambia is going to send 4 people. They're obviously looking maybe at 6. Zimbabwe is going to be 2. South Africa, I'm just waiting for how many fighters they'll be sending down. But we're hosting over 20 fights at the end of the day with the title fights. We're also looking at a rematch that happened at Desert Storm, where Delano lost his title to the Zambian gentleman. I have spoken to the gentleman from Zambia. They are in agreement to do a rematch. So I'm just waiting for now Delano to get back with his partners or agents or his coaches to get back to me and let me know if they wanted to do it on the same event or not. But it's looking good and it's looking positive. We pretty much pre-sold already 250 tickets to a company already. So we've already got 250. We're trying to accommodate between 800 to 1,000 people in the stadium. The capacity, the way that they'll be building the stadium for us, it has that capacity. We are also inviting all the other guys to come on board.
In addition, De Souza also announced that at the event, Souza Studio will launch a MMA African Fight League, which will host African MMA amateur fighters. He also mentioned that the fighters will not receive prize money and that the profits made will be donated to the development of the sport in the country.
The nice thing about it is we're doing a joint venture with another event. So they've done already 93 events, so we're going to learn from them first, and then obviously we're also launching the first ever African Fight League that night. So Namibia will be the house for the African Fight League for MMA. That's what we will be doing from there. We are also looking everybody that will be participating in that thing. So any amateur fighters coming from other countries, from African countries, we will be funding their accommodation and their travels. Unfortunately, we can't give them prize money because the minute we give them prize money, it becomes a professional. They'll take us to another level. We're not there yet. We are looking at that, bringing pro fighters in the near future, but then it has to be another host, another event. But yes, unfortunately, we can't give the amateurs prize money and all that kind of stuff. Obviously, all the profits from that event will be donated to the development of MMA in Namibia.
The Souza Studio team, which consists of Vea Hinda, Geraldo Bok, Eduardo Plat and their coach Carlos De Souza, are currently in Pretoria, South Africa to participate in the Gauteng Fighting Championships 93 competition.
Thank you, Castro, for that update. Now let's have a look at the weekend's forecast.
A look at the weather forecast, but first an advisory from the Windhoek Met Office. Cold weather will persist in the south this weekend. The interior will be partly cloudy and cold in the Karas region, elsewhere partly cloudy and mild to warm but hot in the far north. The coast will be cloudy and cold with fog patches. Rain is expected in the south. The wind fresh northwesterly to southwesterly.
We've come to the end of tonight's edition of Today on 1. Please don't forget to catch the omnibus tomorrow from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. From me, Isai Sipunga, and the rest of the team, it's good night.
The International University of Management, a Namibian university dedicated to its people's future, a hub of abundant opportunities.
We are IUM for life. We are IUM.
Anniversary anniversary celebration of the band on the 12th of December. So we've earmarked a couple of artists. We are launching everything, supposed to be launching everything on the 1st. And we want them to rework some of our music. And for example, we are also going to be working with an orchestra.
Right.
So that they play a rendition of our music in an orchestral kind of fashion.
Right.
And that's in the pipeline too.
I'd like you to perform live in our studios, please, if you may. And what are you going to sing for us today before we say goodbye?
We're going to do this one we call Nyambura with the phrase, I love you like fish and chips.
Fish and chips? Quite interesting.
Okay. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Nyatiareo Nyambura, Nyatiareo my love. I love you Nyambura just like Nyama Choma. Nyatiareo Nyambura, Nyatiareo my love. I love you Nyambura just like fish and chips. Nyambura, I love you like fish and chips. Nyambura nakupenda kama nyama choma. Oh, Nyambura, I love you like fish and chips. Nyambura nakupenda kama nyama choma.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Really appreciate it.
Isn't that fantastic? And that was Salam Kikeke of the Swahili service speaking to the band. Them mushrooms. You're watching BBC Focus on Africa. We're going to cross to Mimi now for the sport. Hi, Mimi.
Hi, Lukwesa. The Commonwealth Games got underway today. Over 5,000 athletes from 72 countries will compete over the next 11 days. The Games run until 8th of August. A spectacular opening ceremony took place on Thursday night as 30,000 spectators filled Alexander Stadium. My colleague Peter Okoche is in Birmingham for us. And Peter, what's been happening for Africa today?
Well, Mimi, welcome to Birmingham. We're back at Victoria Square, which is a fan zone. Slim pickings really on offer for Africa today when it comes to medals. That's because either most of the sports they were taking part in were not at that stage yet, or the ones that were at that stage they were not taking part in. I mean, one of the biggest medal hopes for the continent today was South Africa's Jamie Riddle, who took part in the triathlon. His very first triathlon. That event was won by England's Alex Yee. Jamie Riddle, he came 6th. It's his first time at the Games, and he says despite his positioning, he's still glad that he got the opportunity to take part.
It was a surreal moment. I've been dreaming of this forever now, and you know, when you dream of things for 10 years and it becomes a reality, it's a very special feeling. It's something that you can't really describe, and it'll be running through my head non-stop on replay for the next couple of days, weeks and months. But it was a surreal feeling, and I'm just proud.
South Africa's Jamie Riddle. Now, a lot of team events taking place today as well, in which African countries participated. I'll just reel out some of them for you. In the badminton mixed team event, Singapore beat Mauritius 5-0 in the group stage, while South Africa were 3-2 winners over Jamaica, also in the group stage. In the hockey women's pool stages, Kenya lost 4-10 to New Zealand, while in the rugby 7 men's event, South Africa beat Malaysia by 46-0, while Kenya beat Uganda 27-14. So all those are still at the group stages, no events to be given out yet. So the countries which you heard won their pool games there move on to the next round, of course. But spare a thought for Nigeria. Once again, they've become the talking point of an event like this. Same thing happened to them at the Olympics in Tokyo. They got to the Commonwealth Games without costumes. And that's because they said they were disappointed by what was on offer from their sports kit provider. Instead, they got in touch with a sportswear company in Kidderminster, just about 17 kilometers south of Birmingham here, MG, and they are the providers, or they are the company that are going to be providing the Nigerians with kits. So, you know, not a good picture for the Nigerians. Let's hope that those kits get here in time. Now, looking ahead to Saturday, that's when we'll see a lot of African action. The marathon takes place tomorrow. Kenya's Eliud Kipchoge obviously not taking part in the marathons, but South Africa's Chad Loklo, he's excited at his shot at the Commonwealth because if he gets a podium result in any of the 6 events he's entered for, he will equal the most amount of medals won by any athlete at the Commonwealth Games. Mimi.
Hugh. All right, so that's Peter Okoche there, live from Birmingham at the Commonwealth Games. Now in football, Liverpool boss Jurgen Klopp was preparing for Saturday's Community Shield against Manchester City, says Sadio Mane told them early enough of his desire to leave, which gave them time to make changes ahead of the new season. Mane, who was at the club for 6 years before he moved to Bayern Munich, Klopp said he was glad the Senegal international stated his intentions early, which allowed Liverpool to find a replacement with Darwin Núñez joining the club last month.
But of course, we have a little change in our team. We lost Sadio, was a fixed lineup player for 6 years. That's clear. But it's always like this. We cannot only try stick together forever. We have to make changes. And when Sadio came and asked or told us that he wants to face a new challenge, because it was early enough, we accepted that and said, yeah, when the club is coming and then everything goes well, then we can do that. So we had time to prepare that situation because he came early, and that's what we did. And now we have to find together again. That's completely normal as well. It was always in pre-seasons like this, and this year is not different, but with the difference that one fixed point is gone.
And that's all the sport. Look, Questa, lots more on the BBC Sport Africa page.
Yeah, and there's going to be lots over the weekend as well that we'll bring to you on Focus on Africa on Monday. From both of us, though, have a great weekend. Bye-bye.
The Meridian, where contrasts come together and sophistication runs wild. Presenting a Jeep SUV that gives you the best of both worlds. The all-new Jeep Meridian, untamed sophistication.
Hello there. A couple of weather concerns for this weekend across the United States. We've got that heat wave that's with us and building across the Pacific Northwest, bringing dangerous heat for some. Further southwards, we've got some thundery showers that will bring some torrential falls of rain, bringing some localised flash flooding. Now, some of the heaviest rain over the weekend may well be affecting parts of Oklahoma, Kansas, but it looks very wet into the Appalachians, parts of Georgia too. Some of those heaviest downpours capable of bringing some localised flash flooding. The weather drier across much of Brazil, a few showers across easternmost areas and cooler weather working into Rio de Janeiro, limiting the temperature rise to 22 Saturday afternoon. Widespread thundery showers will be affecting eastern areas of Europe. It looks particularly wet in Poland. We'll see some rain at times, though, further north for Latvia, Lithuania and Estonia. Still some hot sunshine around the Mediterranean. Now, here's the weather picture for Africa. We see some heavy thunderstorms around this weekend, particularly affecting parts of Senegal, around Guinea. Also, another clump of storms working from Sudan westwards to affect parts of Chad. Welcome rain for some, but again, the rain could be heavy enough to cause a few problems. We continue to see unusual showers for the time of year affecting western areas of Iran. Could see some localised flash flooding here through the course of the weekend, but those showers tending to gradually ease away. Now, monsoon-wise in India, some of the heaviest rains will be going across northeast India and Bangladesh as we head through the weekend. So that's where we could see around 150 millimetres of rain in the wettest areas. Meanwhile, for Thailand, a few showers coming and going. Probably see some of those in Bangkok at times this weekend with around about 50 millimetres of rain. Tropical storm Songda continues to work towards northeast China or the Korean Peninsula. Landfall may well be into the early part of next week. Turning west across the southeast of Australia, for New Zealand, well, after a disruptive spell of heavy rain and some heavy snow across the Alps, the area of low pressure responsible drifts eastwards.
Los pandas son animales de clima más frío, lo que pasa que aquí tenemos la instalación completamente adaptada porque tienen la pagoda interior con